際って言えるかな。
慣れない土地では地元のガイドを雇った方がいいぞ。
お茶会は淑女の必修科目さ。お茶会における礼儀作法を学びたいなら僕が教えてあげよう。
慣れない土地では地元のガイドを雇った方がいいぞ。
道に迷わない能力と天賦の際って言えるかな。
星とし無事今日の
慣れない土地では地元のガイドを雇った方がいい。
響け策の目。
Swipe? Oh. Oh, you saw me, You saw me eyeing the wish page, huh, Jace? No. Even if I did that, I would just get a bunch of notifications from my bank saying declined, 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 whatever. I'm gonna miss it, Lolly. I don't got enough for it. Wait, sorry. Okay, sorry. I understood your miss as like you're gonna miss her because we weren't gonna see her again, ever, because of cryo, hoyo, right? Okay. I did realize that you said miss and you meant like you're gonna miss her, like you're not gonna be able to pull for her this patch. I misunderstood it. Sorry. Yeah. But hey, I'm gonna miss her, like in that regard, like that miss. But I'm also gonna miss her because like I won't ever see her again. Figure you see that in both directions. I think both are also correct. Yeah. We're gonna miss her because we're not gonna see her ever again. Oyo's gonna lock her up in their cryo jail for the foreseeable future, and even the unforeseeable future, maybe. I wonder if it's gonna be enough. Cause like, okay, here's my pity. I'm trying to get Citlali on this account. I'm on the third account now, and here's my pity. I think I'm on guaranteed. Yeah, guaranteed, but only 29 pity. 29 pity. That's how much I have. No star glitter, and of course I already got my wishes for this reset. So here's the stuff that I gotta do. I have not done the Archon Quest. I have not done this event. I have not done this event yet. I haven't done Mavuika's story quest. I haven't done Mavuika's story quest. And I haven't done Citlali's story quest. And I haven't done exploration yet. Well, sort of. Sort of. I haven't completed it yet. So I wonder if it's going to be enough. And also, is my time going to be enough? I have 3 days to do all of that, by the way. And on top of that, I have to do all those quests too, right? Within 3 days. Because remember, this stuff, like this and this, it's going away in 3 days when this patch goes away, or like when these banners go away. And I have to do this on my second account as well, within the next 3 days before they go away. Otherwise, I'm losing this and I'm losing this. Man, okay, I don't know if it's gonna be enough. You can do that in a day. Yeah, but like I could do that in a day if I was like a tech billionaire that didn't have an actual life, didn't have a family to spend time with, and didn't have a job to do. Unless Skirk comes out, in which case you'd be saving for Skirk. Yeah, after this set of banners, I'm just gonna be saving for Skirk. Am I forgetting something? I have to hurry. Like, really, I have to hurry. And you are correct. I could do that in a day, and I don't have to do it on a stream. I could just do it like anytime. But I would prefer to be able to do it on stream. Hey, what's up, Penguin? How you doing, man? You remember the sword that killed Farina? I have a feeling that's gonna be in Skirk's. That's gonna be Skirk's weapon. Really? Quote me on that. Wow, you're pretty confident about it. Pretty confident about it. Okay. Is this based off just like gut intuition, or like is this based off of something? Oh, that one didn't get swirled. it's a hunch, but it's based. Okay, so it's a hunch, but it's based on leak. So like, if it's a leak, then how is it a hunch? So it's your hunch, but like supported by that leak. Or your hunch is caused by that leak? That's with a great grain of salt. Of course it's a, it's a leak. Right? Of course it would be with salt. Well, I know. You gonna be a catalyst? I'm completely wrong. So far, all the speculation I hear from people is that she's gonna be a sword user. But yeah, it's entirely possible that she could be a catalyst as well. Like, you never know with catalyst users nowadays. Like, catalysts can be anything, right? Like, we have Mika, who uses a crossbow, but joke's on you, haha. He's a polearm user. And we have Hazo, who's a catalyst user, but Hazo and Risley, who are catalyst users, but like, yeah, haha, lol, just kidding. I don't use magic. I use my fists. They use their fists. Yeah, that's right. So I think after 5.3, I feel like in 5.4 we might get a new region, a new part of Natlan. Oh, I got school in an hour. See you later. If you're still streaming, hey, all right. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Wait, I went on the wrong account. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Take care, man. Take care. Have a safe trip. You got fined 20 million USD for selling loot boxes in Genshin. Selling loot boxes in Genshin, and boss paid the fine in my stead and put $5,000 on my tab to apologize for what happened to me. Huh? What? Why are loot boxes? What's the word loot boxes in quotations? Genshin had loot boxes? What? So what is this about? I don't really watch news. Because, like, obviously, the news isn't going to report about, hey, the bridge is doing fine today. It didn't get destroyed or whatever. Right? Obviously, that's not going to happen. Obviously, they're only gonna report on. Obviously, they're only gonna report on, hey, oh no, the bridge collapsed, or like, oh, this bridge is going under a massive undertaking. New bridge, new technology, big money, corruption, maybe. Right. It's sort of the only reason why anyone would ever report on bridge, like on the news, right? And like either of those, I don't care about. They told me we've been selling loot boxes to underage children, and I'm like, what? Hey, what's up, Mighty? How you doing, man? I think paying the fine was a bad move. The counter fine would have been indefinitely better. To big tech companies nowadays, like that are doing, well, you know, subjectively, right? Obviously, immoral is very debatable. The term immoral is very debatable depending on the context, depending on the perspective, and depending on the situation, right? Some situations it's a lot more obvious than others. But yeah, right, like lawsuits, fines, lawsuits and fines have just sort of become part of operating expenses for big tech companies in modern times. Like admitting to a fault for something you never did. Maybe deep down inside they were thinking that. Oh, that's the wrong burst. I'm in a Monster Hunter mood. I can't even log on Genshin. I'm thinking about dropping the game maybe. Wow, really? How you feel about Genshin lately, Mighty? Dry or boring or what? Speaking of a new game, last night I found out about this game called SnowRunner, and yeah, it's not a new game or anything, right? It's from 2020. In fact, it's even sort of like a what like a second game or like the newer game from what I think is the same developer. I never really looked into it. Hey, what's up, wrong person? How you doing, man? Yeah, SnowRunner, I think, is a sort of sequel, like the next game from the same developer, which I think, again, I didn't look into it, called Mudrunner from 2017. SnowRunner, I think, is, I don't think, I think a lot of people might disagree with me, and that I think it's a cool game. I just think it's a cool game because it sort of tickles this like this itch that most young boys have, which somehow I still have, even though I'm, you know, certainly no young boy anymore. About driving cars through rough terrain. And I'm thinking about getting it. But it's like, I looked up I looked at I checked how much storage it was gonna take up, like the whole thing. It's like 55 gigabytes. Now it's like, what? Are all games like this in 2025? Are all modern games like this? Are there no more like actually good-looking games that are not 50 gigabytes anymore? I got enough of it until the next major update because the fighting now got bored. The fighting now bored me. The fighting now? Sorry, what fighting? You mean the combat? Combat in Genshin? And I don't have any need or want for any new characters. Speaking of need for any new characters, the topic of power creep has come up again recently because of Mavuika. And the idea that and not just because of Mavuika, but also because of Spiral Abyss. You know, like recently, Hoyo has increased the HP multipliers of enemies that are in Abyss. And on top of that, the 5.3 Abyss has a leyline disorder, which is weird. Right, 5.3 Abyss, floor 12 rather, floor 12, because floor 12 has never had a leyline disorder. And I was so like surprised when I looked at it. I was so surprised. I was like, wait, is this really floor 12? Like I had to double check myself. I don't care about power creep. I'm used to it for 7 years ago from other gacha games. Yeah, but it just sucks, you know, because like I hate games that just introduce power creep, because I've really only experienced like a game that I took seriously that introduced power creep once, and that was Rakion, this old like 3D like Genshin-ish, not open world, no storyline, like mostly PvP focused game from like the mid 2000s. Like I took that game really seriously. In fact, like I took a little break when I graduated from college, and then like a few months later I created a new account and then took it really seriously. And I took another break a couple of years later when I had to like move around a couple of times. And logged in again a couple of years later just to see what was up, and then I realized, oh, was everything I worked so hard for a few years ago to max out everything completely pointless, because they raised the stat cap. They raised the stat cap and my stats were not maxed anymore. And it just, I hated it. I hated it. I hate that we can't just play a game, take a break, because like we're gonna be busy in life for a while, and then just go back to and it being normal. Hey, what's up, Ang? Sorry, man. That's the best way I know how to read your name. Or 13, 14, 15, and coming, I guess. I wouldn't even mind if they added more floors to Abyss. Right? Instead of just making floor 12 harder, why not just give us more floors? And I understand, like, okay, they probably wouldn't want that because, like, how are they gonna like add rewards to it, right? Like they've done the math on these rewards already. Okay. They've done the math on these rewards already, how many like free currency they want to give us from like all the different sources of free currency, like events, daily commissions, the web login thing, the web check-in thing, web events. Yeah, I'm sure they've done the math on it, and they know exactly how much in total they want to give us. They want to give us just barely not enough to for free-to-play players with average luck, not insanely good luck, with just average luck or slightly bad luck, to not be able to get the stuff that they want. And it makes sense, right? They're a business. It's a business thing. But it just sucks that I just hate that I'm the target of it. I don't like being the target of it. I understand why they're doing it, but I'm not happy about it. Oops.
アミナ、また贈り物だ。
また？
ああ、ここで売っ
でもこのあれ？君たちもう戻ってきた。私たちが招待したんだよ。
That's all gacha games. Asking for no power creep nowadays is asking for too much. Yeah, and I understand. Like, at the very least, I think Hoyo has done a really good job so far. Like, imagine, gacha game, 4 years into the game. I can still, like, although, okay, Diluc certainly has been very obviously power crept, but it's still possible to use Diluc with a lot of effort. He's not completely useless, and it's completely hopeless to be able to use him in 2025. Right, like they've done a pretty good job of really they've had to introduce into the game to be able to keep selling new characters, and I think that's not an easy thing to do. I think very few gacha game companies are able to do that. Because spending more resources on stuff like this, right? Characterization, storylines, storytelling, like this. It's a 3D game. Animation as well. Animation, 3D rendering, 3D modeling, right? To make it so that like you're like, yeah. So to sell characters based on people liking them, instead of just selling characters based on bigger numbers. Bigger numbers, you just gotta change some numbers, like while as you're making the game, right? It's easy. Way less effort, way less meetings. It's just, okay, alright. Should I give them a bigger number? Sure. Okay. Is that enough? No, a little bit more. Okay. Right? So like, it's way easier than to do stuff like this. And it's like way more expensive to do it. And thankfully, what they've been doing has been working. Well, to a certain extent. I don't know their internal numbers, I don't know their books, but yeah, it has been working. Now, as for, is it still working as well as it used to? I don't know. I hope it is. Because if it is working still as well as it used to, then that means Hoyo could just keep going with zero power creep.
エンジン様、私は今釣りの最中なんです。そうだな。用があるなら君のご両親。いえ、かつての私はこの先。君のお母さんはこれは君のご両親。ありがとう。
I've long given up on meta. I only pull units that look pretty. Yeah, like it's, you know, and that's really nice. Like that's one thing that Hoyo has been able to privilege us with, is that 4 years into the game, and us tryhards, right? Us tryhards who put in a lot of effort into building characters and teams, making them stronger, are still able to use those characters and teams 4 years into the game. And say, I don't pull for characters anymore, like meta characters anymore. You know, that's funny. You know, hey, Aang, that would not have happened. I did at some point in the past, 2 years ago. Yeah, around 2 years ago, I did run out of storage. Not really, but like, so I have 2 storage devices on my desktop. Now 3, but like at the time I had 2 storage devices on my desktop. A 120 gig SSD for Windows and a 500 gig HDD for other stuff, for anything else. And at the time, I think it was before Fontaine. Yeah, before Fontaine, I was still able to fit Genshin onto my SSD. And I prefer my games to be on an SSD because faster load times, faster, everything, right? It's just smoother everything compared to the hard disk drive. And thankfully, at the time, I had some extra cash, and SSD prices at the time were pretty low. They were pretty, like, compared to now. They haven't gone up like to crazy amounts now, but back then, at the time, it was lower than what they are now. So I was able to buy a 500 gig M.2 SSD, and that's why, like, as soon as the patch dropped, when Genshin wouldn't fit on my SSD anymore, I had an SSD. Was able to buy a new SSD and install it onto my desktop I just had to copy over Genshin to the new SSD, and that was it. Right? No problem at all until even until now, and hopefully into the foreseeable future. Hopefully. But yeah, like if the day comes that I can't fit Genshin onto my SSD anymore, it'll probably be a while, because it's, I don't see Genshin reaching 500 gigs or even 400 gigs in the next 5 years. 15 years maybe, but 5 years, no, I don't see it happening. But if that day does happen, then I'm sure at that time I'll be able to buy myself a 1 terabyte, or even maybe, like, God knows, right? Like maybe even 2 terabyte SSD by then. You know what? I'm enjoying myself so much now. Hey, happy for you, wrong person. You're still on HSR, right? How's HSR doing? Always after a year of playing a game. I got the memo. Got the memo. I understand the game. I got my fun. Now I'm just gonna chill and in the back doing something else. A quick note: as a gacha connoisseur, Genshin might die soon. It's not just the community a gacha game. Always has a cap. It can't reach. Can't reach happens always on the 5th year of it. Might survive a moment, but at the end of the day, there's nothing new besides story. And that's true. That's true. I mean, story and power creep. Yeah, but like, once power creep is the only way for a gacha game to sell new characters, that's sort of at that point you've lit a fuse. And sooner or later that fuse is gonna run out. It's like a ticking time bomb at that point. People are eventually gonna burn out. They're gonna get tired of trying to keep up. They don't even care about the Genshin community anymore. Of course, it's gonna die. I don't even go as far as to say they never cared even one bit. It's a company. It's a business. That's just community. Okay. I pulled the Herta. Won my first 50-50 and over here. Hey, nice. Congrats, man. I'm liking HSR 3.0 right now. Any big updates? Hey, what's up, Ems? Happy Sinulog. Oh, hey, yeah, that's right. No, sorry, I'm not exactly like the most religious guy, but I don't know exactly. Oh yeah, no, 3rd Sunday of January. Yeah, in like tomorrow. Wait, is it Saturday? Yeah, it's Saturday. Yeah, tomorrow. I think Genshin's becoming dead because most people don't have enough storage to play. Yeah, that too. Like, they are getting killed on like multiple fronts here. So one is that people have just like, not everyone is gonna be interested forever in new characters, right? Like, and when I say new characters, like new characters with new personalities and new storylines, right? Like, not everyone is gonna be interested in that stuff forever. At some point, people are gonna get tired. But then again, there are also new players coming in. Now the question, and then the question becomes, are there enough new players that are spenders to make up for the ones that have gotten tired, right? So that then becomes the question.
僕もいや僕ちゃんと僕の大
前にお前
俺も帰る
ずっと気にな
こういう場面にあ
ジグ私も行くぜまずは
I've said that they're gonna make 3.x region story go up to 3.7 instead of the usual x.2. What? HSR versions only go up to x.2? Like, so 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, and then 2.0? Oops, I just killed that dude.
そういえば二人があなたに着いたばかりの時もこの道を一緒に通ったよ
At
ね
least we found this game, we had our fun, we will remember it later in the future when only pics and videos stay. That's true. That's true. Nothing lasts forever, man. Even us, like you and me, you and all me and all you guys in chat, like we're all here, like having a laugh, talking about it and stuff. Just because we're here, like we're here now,
不思議だよね
and we are not thinking about the day that we're not here anymore, doesn't mean that we'll be here forever.
私は何にもあげられないわじゃあ大丈夫
Genshin's falling apart and there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, that really just depends on them.
私が手伝
It depends on them and like how they manage to keep player sentiment. Now there is something that many of us are absolutely not able to take into account, and that is the casual player base. And when I say casual player base, I'm talking about like super casual player base, the types of players that just play the game and like have,
ここって
let's say like, okay, let's say all right, let's take an example. So people who just have extra cash, like people who earn a certain amount of income, like a pretty healthy amount of income, but don't necessarily have a lot of time. And gaming isn't their like main thing, right? Like us over here, like talking in this conversation right now, we are a bunch of us consider ourselves gamers, but there are so many more players in Genshin that are like super casual, that would not consider themselves gamers, but absolutely do spend money on the game just because they can. Right? Just because they can. Like somebody who earns, I don't know, like so like, okay, I don't know, I'm just gonna spout out figures from the Philippines because obviously I don't know the living expenses in other countries. But so in the Philippines, like if somebody like me who lived in this city that I live in earned say $5,000 a month, I would easily be able to spend like $100 or even $300 on Genshin every month, no problem. And like I wouldn't even bat an eye about it. It wouldn't bother me at the very least, right? And though there are many Genshin players that are like that, and the problem is like us here, we're talking about this topic, we're speculating, whatever. We can't do anything more than speculate, right? Because we don't know exactly how many of those players there are. And not only that, there's also like players who do like the game, but not the way we do, right? They don't care about the combat, they don't care too much about the story, right? They just like how the characters look. And because they have quite a lot of loose change, then even though they already got the character they want, they will still spend money on the game getting 1 or 2 constellations just because they can. Just because their friend said so. Hey, like this character's like C1 and C2 is really strong. But then like that person, let's say it's a cosplayer, right? Let's say a cosplayer. Their main, like what they do for a living is cosplaying, making costumes, going to conventions and stuff. They don't care about games. They just like Genshin because they like the character designs and they get a lot of inspiration from Genshin character designs, right? And a player like that, let's say they have a friend who is very similar to us here, who knows the Genshin combat, who knows how to build characters and teams, etc. And then like that friend, that cosplayer friend, asks their gamer friend, "Hey, I'm using this character, and I'm trying to do this quest. Why can't I kill the enemies?" And then, because like she doesn't, like this cosplayer doesn't care about like listening to explanations, listening to the math and stuff, and how to do this, how to do that. And their friend knows that they don't care about that. Their friend just knows that, oh, you need to make her stronger. So, oh yeah, I heard that C1 and C2 is really strong on that character. They spend a couple extra $100 to get C1 or C2 and their signature weapon, and then they're like, oh yeah, you're right. And then it implants this mindset that, oh, I guess getting C1 or C2 of some characters makes them really strong. A cosplayer is not a normal person. I mean, compared to us, like normal, compared to us, right? And when I say normal, because like, so people like us, right? Like we do this like all day. We do this all day, every day, and like new game comes out, like we're immediately thinking about like how to do this, how to do that. We're all immediately thinking of mechanics. Right? These people, they don't think about game mechanics. They think about, let's say, okay, the cosplayer example, right? They think about like the mechanics of how to do what they do. I'm curious what is normal at this point. Normal is whatever you feel is normal. Cosplayers are crazier than gamers. Yeah, but that doesn't matter in this context. We're talking about people who know how game mechanics work. People who can figure out game mechanics. Is someone only normal because we say they are? Yeah, of course, right? Like I heard this story about Nikola Tesla, and that apparently he was in love with a pigeon, right? And to him, that is perfectly normal. But to us, that's weird. Right, normal is really only normal when someone says it's normal. Like to a serial killer, killing people is normal. Normal people are people who follow the general public and trends. That's what normal people say. That's what normal people say. But if you ask a serial killer, hey, why don't you kill people like I do? You're weird. Right? And the thing too is like somebody who follows the general public and trends, right? If someone like that were to do it a lot, then we would, like, in a certain conversation of whatever context, they might not even refer to themselves as normal. Because just like the way I am now, I'm not referring to us as normal now because of the context of this conversation. I'm referring to normal people as just people who aren't gamers,
白ね準備はいい
right? But like in the context of let's say
君と血脈確認するゲーム
shoot
君のアビスへ私から見て違和感が溢れ出るアビス
acting.
白ね
Yeah, right. Let's say acting, like Hollywood acting. We are normal people.
始めるね
Right? Like celebrities refer to us as normal people.
君の魂八神は新しくつながった後もどう大丈夫問題はなさそう
And normal depends on the context, depends on the perspective, depends on the topic, depends on a lot of things.
落ち着いてパイも幽霊を見たってなんでこん家にこっちだ確認は終わったわ白ね分かった
You're thinking too hard. Take a step back and remember the black holes exist. The black holes. Gamma rays can destroy everything in the universe in half seconds. Yeah, right? And like that's the thing though, is like once you start zooming out, everything it just gets clearer that all these words that we use to define things, they are now not all of them, right? But most of them, a lot of them depend on perspective. And so once you're at from your own perspective, it might mean something different. But when you get into somebody else's perspective, it will mean something different. And once you get into another perspective, then it will probably mean something else too. Right? And like you start mentioning black holes and gamma rays, and yeah, like once you zoom out that far, right? Like once you zoom out like universal scale, Earth and humanity in general, and everything that we do here is just normal. Even if we just nuked ourselves, like even if we had a nuclear war, right? Like to the universe's scale, that is just normal, because everything we do here and everything we use to do anything we do here is just from the universe. It's normal. Right? The uranium and whatever other nuclear materials that we used in those nuclear bombs, they're from Earth. Earth is made up of rock and everything else that went into Earth in the last 4.5 billion years of creating Earth. So from the universe's perspective, it's normal. RJ is kind of normal in perspective. And how do we go from like gacha game into universe stuff again? I gotta say, I'm kind of anxious. I just started the 5.3 Archon Quest. I have to do Citlali's story quest. I have to do Mavuika's story quest. And I have to do exploration of the 3 5.2 regions. And I have to do them in less than 3 days. And I have to do those 3 quests. I have to do those 3 quests twice for my second account too. Because the free rewards from the Citlali. Well, at the very least, I don't think I have to do the Archon Quest on my second account yet, because I think the 500 Primogem thing doesn't expire just yet. But the Citlali and Mavuika Story Quest free rewards, it's not a lot. It's just 60 Primos, but you know, it's 60 free Primos that I don't have to pay for. So why wouldn't I? We were just talking about power creep earlier, right? I know. Man, and that's why I love talking to you guys. I can just like everything, you know, like the stuff the stuff that I yap about, like the way I talk about it. These have just all been things that I think about and talk to myself about, that I have been thinking to myself and talking to myself about for the last, like, most of my life, that I didn't really have anyone to talk to about, or like no one really, I don't know, cared to listen to, or even cared to even think about. And like, thanks to you guys, like some of you guys are actually interested in it too. I'm sure, to some of you guys it's completely boring and like, this guy's crazy and stupid, like boring, haha. All right, see you later. But I don't know. It's just I think it's a nice privilege, and thank you. I just want to say thank you. Funny how I think nuclear power is no longer that powerful when you know the power of a singularity, of a black star. We might never know, but infinity is a big number. That's true. And plus the fact that, like, just because it's a number that we don't know, we just say infinity, right? But like, if you think about it, I don't think it's infinity, because like the concept of infinity is crazy, right? Something that just goes on forever. Like, I understand, like, infinity, infinite, endless, right? There's no end. But like, how long is that exactly? And I understand it's immeasurable, right? Like, those concepts they're just too hard to understand for the way that our brains think. Insults them, the same person later. See you later. Hey, you know what? I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Like, I don't mind that. In fact, I appreciate people who, like, that's one thing that I like about my dad's family, is most of them are completely like that. They just, like, they can fight and argue over something now, and like, you listen to them argue and fight and whatever, and like, it sounds like, oh no, they're never gonna talk to each other again. But then, like, later in the day, a couple of days, maybe like next month, like when they have a reason to talk to each other, they'll just talk to each other like nothing happened. And I like that, because like, if there's no more reason for you to be angry at someone, then why still be angry then? Especially if you have something to do that requires the cooperation of that other person. Right? You're like, you are making things complicated for yourself by holding a grudge, when that grudge is gonna, well, make things difficult for yourself, or in some cases maybe even keep you from accomplishing that goal. What even is nothingness? Oh my god, no, stop it. We're taking this too far, man. Because when matter does not occupy a space, there's just something else that fills that space. Even in space, the void isn't as empty as it seems. I remember learning about this a couple of years back, this thing called dark matter. So, and I don't know what's real anymore at this point, because like, I remember at some point, within the last 5 to 10 years, I remember hearing that the universe's expansion is speeding up, but I also remember hearing that the universe's expansion is slowing down. So like, so which one is it really? And so, because of, I don't know which of these theories, but like, one of these theories came up with the idea of dark matter and or dark energy. At least we know something. The power of black holes' gravity is infinity, because nothing can be pressed that hard and stay for billions of years. You know what I think black holes are? I think they're just so I wouldn't call them a star. Well, yeah, okay, term for them that we have is a black hole. And the term for them that we have is a black hole, right? It's a lump of matter that's just very, 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 very dense. And of course, you know, the way things work in our universe is like the denser, the more the like really high density and a lot of mass, like those two together create a lot of gravity. And because there is so much like matter and it's really dense, so more gravity. And apparently at some point gravity affects even light, and that's why we don't know anything about it. We don't know what happens to things at that scale of gravity. So that's why like it's just a lot easier to say, oh, it's infinite. But I think if we could actually gather data from it, I think we might actually be able to put a number on it. It would be a really big number, but I think we actually might be able to put a number on it. Because like there are, so I don't think scientists know exactly how black holes, like why there are small black holes and why there are like supermassive black holes. But like so some theories are that like supermassive black holes are just like black holes that just like eat each other and then like get more and more mass, and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger, etc. Black holes take us to anime land, true. It's how you get isekai'd. It's how you get isekai'd. You do what Cooper did. You do what Cooper did in Interstellar. You go into a black hole, and then you wake up, and then like everything is suddenly 2D, and you suddenly have magic powers, and you're the most overpowered person in that universe. And everybody speaks Japanese. I lost 50-50 to Herta. I failed to get my premium witch, okay. I don't know if I can gather enough to get her before the banner ends. I'm at 40 pity guaranteed. Oh man, that sucks. 40 pity guaranteed. It feels so close, right? But at the same time, it also feels so far. What an awful feeling. A black hole is when physics are broken. How can you go in the past and the future at the same time when you're close? Yeah, and like so there's also the thing about time dilation, right? Like there's also the thing about time dilation. There's the thing about the theory about so time dilation and how time slows down the faster you go. And there's also this theory that like if you go faster than light, that time reverses. That like when you're traveling at the speed of light, that you would be experiencing the past, the present, and the future at the same time. But those are concepts that I think, for now, especially because, and at least until we can gather data, we can actually gather data from a black hole, right, from inside a black hole. I think for now, all that we are capable of doing is just speculating by using what little data we have about it, about that concept. And I think so if you okay, let's think about it from Dr. Manhattan's perspective. You know, like Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen. Now, I don't think there's a way for anyone to understand that kind of thing. Like anyone, like any human. Like to understand that kind of understanding, right? Like to have that kind of comprehension. It's like think about that. Like if you're able to experience time at that scale. Like if you have such, like if you have a, if you're able to experience time at that scale, like you're able to experience events that happen so fast, Like there was a scene in the movie where he says, like, being able to experience, to see events that happen so fast that they can hardly have, what was the word he used? They can hardly have, dude, I can't remember the words anymore. That they can hardly have said to have even happened at all. Like, I don't know if those are the right words, but something along those lines. It's like, at that point, human comprehension doesn't make sense anymore, right? It's just not possible anymore. At that point, I think we need like a different kind of comprehension, a different kind of, like, a different sense, you know, like, okay, because like us humans, we only have 5 senses. I think we might need like a different, I don't know, a different kind of sense to be able to comprehend that kind of stuff. Oh, I got hit. Never mind. Oops. Castorize. Sorry, what's castorize, wrong person? The fact that black holes are invisible and the only thing we see are the firewall and inescapable light. I want Tribby? What's Tribby? Because I saw they work well with Argenti. Oh, okay, HSR characters. I like that black holes don't care what it eats. It will reprogram it into matter, and get bigger. Yeah, it just has its own rules. Well, it has its rules, and because like all the other rules are, I guess, like overwritten by it. No, not necessarily overwritten by it, but like just the gravity, right? Like once, because anything at that point, like gravity, yeah, gravity and time sort of just become whatever it is in a black hole. That no other, because like all the other forces that are able to interact with it, right? Like all the other forces that are able to interact with it, like everything else in the universe that has gravity, that experiences time, are able to interact with the gravity, but our gravity, like anything else's gravity and the way we experience time, just is, well, it's like, I guess, like you could say, you know, like to put it in simple terms, it's at a lower level than at a lower level. So at that point, it's like in Genshin, if you have a smaller, like if you have a support, a support character in Genshin that shreds resistances by only 20%, and you have another support that shreds resistances by 40%. In Genshin, they just stack, right? But like in, you know, physics, they don't stack. The thing that ends up getting used is the one with a bigger number. And in the universe's case, and black holes' case, black holes just have the biggest number, like all the time in this universe. So their rules, their mechanics, like whatever, is what gets used. How much can you compress into a microscopic speck? Black hole, yes. Yeah, exactly, right? It's just, there's no how much, there's just yes. Send you a picture of casterized before. Oh, okay, okay. And I think a good way to visualize, let's say, okay, let's say for example, so humans, right? Like we have 5 senses, whatever, and if we need like a different sense to be able to comprehend like the concepts that humans are not able to comprehend, right? Like the universal stuff that we're talking about. I think a good way to visualize it would be like if you guys remember like those who watched and or remember this scene from Guardians of the Galaxy when Peter Quill, I don't remember exactly what happened in the scene, but there was this scene where Peter Quill sort of was able to experience the powers, celestial powers, like similar powers to what his dad had. Like they visualized it with like Peter Quill, like staring up, and like his eyes going white, and then like he looked like his mind got opened or something along those lines. And I think that was like the best way to visualize it. Visualize like a human only having 5 senses suddenly being able to comprehend more than what a human is able to comprehend. I really hate this shield, like whatever mechanic that Koyo created for Natlan and these abyssal enemies. It's just so stupid. I hate it. I really hope that Skirk has a way of dealing with it much more easily. It gave you neuron activation, RJ. I remember it. Oh, hey, okay. I remember now. I remember now. Yeah, thanks, wrong person. Trickle should have smashed the Golden Lady Man. What? The Golden Lady Man fumbled. I'm sorry, Saki. As I said, I don't remember the movie that much, really. Like, I guess it's... A lot of people say that Guardians of the Galaxy, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies have been like some of the better ones in the MCU, and like I can see why, because like it's got a different formula to it. It's a lot more silly. It's a lot more similar to like Thor 3, and we all know that how much everyone loved Thor 3. Was it Thor 3? I don't remember anymore. Like the first one that Taika Waititi directed. But I don't know. Like to me, the Guardians of the Galaxy movie just doesn't. I don't know. It just isn't memorable to me. It's not bad. I think it's funny. It's silly. It's lighthearted. But it doesn't feel like there are stakes. It feels more like a Looney Tunes cartoon, where I just know that Bugs Bunny is gonna win at the end of the episode, no matter what. The shield of that dragon in the World Quest was so annoying. Yeah, I just hate these like abyssal shields. The Golden Queen was obsessed with making top-tier babies, and Quill was a good mate. Oh, that sounds like... What is that? Like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I think? If that's the case, I don't think I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I'm sorry, man. I really am. I wish I got this context. Remember when Bugs Bunny said racial slurs? It was funny. It was funny. It really was. Then people had to get all so sensitive. Look at society now. Society doesn't even have like a sense of humor, let alone it doesn't even have a backbone at this point.
医者は治療をするだけじゃなく、万が一の時には手助け。あなたにはしさ。何かしら、急に大きく。なるほど。だから一緒じゃなかったのね。それじゃなおさら時間を無駄にできないわ。エンジン様にあなたを引き止めたと思われたくないもの。お姉ちゃんがもっと早くにこれで十分。もう夢だって。お姉ちゃんを心配する。もう中には明るい旅人さん。
Oh, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand, like, what happened to people's sense of humor. Even a compliment can't offend someone now. You'll say, "You look beautiful today." And they would answer, "So I wasn't beautiful before?" Oh, that's yeah. And not only that, like to some people, it's crazy how like just being there can be offensive, right? Like I saw this clip once. I think it was from a movie or like a TV show. I don't know what it was from. And it was this girl who was just offended by this like clearly like white American dude who was running a taco truck. A taco truck, right? Like obviously Mexican food, right? And like she was offended by the fact that like the guy who ran the truck was not Mexican. And then like he pointed to the guy who was making the tacos, and he was clearly Mexican. No, he wasn't Mexican. He had a very Mexican name. Like his name was Guillermo, right? Like, a very Mexican, very Spanish name, whatever it is. I'm sorry. Yeah. And Guillermo, and then like she was like saying like, what, you got some poor Mexican underpaid Mexican dude slaving away in the back over there making tacos so that you could make money off of Mexican food. And then like showed the dude was Korean. The dude was Korean. Like at that point, like she didn't even know what to be offended by anymore. So like, right, like at that point, like how were you offended in the first place? Like if he, like, I don't know, like, right, because they were offended by something, by what, accusations? But it was a Korean person. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Do you know what show that was, or like what movie that was? Oops. He would be so disappointed if she knew I'm African and not black. Right? My genuine response would be, yeah, you made an improvement. I saw it on a YouTube short. Oh, dude, I guess that short did blow up. I wonder where it was from. It looked like it was from like a low budget movie. Like not super low budget, but like not like AAA Hollywood movie. at that point, like, she didn't, like, right, like, obviously it's an exaggeration, it's an exaggerated, like, piece of content, but it's also derived from reality that there really are people like that. Maybe they won't act like that in public, but they feel like that internally. And at that point, like, if you ever get to the point where you don't know what to be offended by, then, like, what were you even offended by in the first place? Like, you were just being offended just to be offended. But now you don't have a reason to be offended. Thought from Facebook. Random amazing lesson I learned. Facebook was that thing. That thing. When I was 7. That thing? What thing? Oh man, us talking about this topic and people getting offended by nothing. It reminds me so much of. I don't know if it's actually the Genshin community. I think it's just people from outside the Genshin community, like people commenting about skin tones in a video game. Right? Like I don't know. Okay, I don't know the facts. I don't care about following this kind of stuff, but I'm just guessing, but I think like all these people hating on like oh, that's loud.
正解を超えし者よ、恐れないで。あなたはあなたで最も熱い信頼を得た。降臨者よ、希望を、あなただけの炎を灯しなさい。
It looks like those fake calling app for kids. 80% of people are bots. They sound so fun to talk to in real life, but I bet they love eating mayonnaise on chicken or something cool people do. These people want representation so badly, but they don't even support it when it's catered to them. Just look at the recent flop games in the West. When they go woke, they go bro. Yeah, right. And not just even games. Like, look at Disney movies. Right? Look at all the Disney movies. Like, obviously trying to go woke. Like casting a black Ariel and the Little Mermaid, and like, okay, cool. What is it called? Like Aladdin, sure, I understand. Because like Aladdin is clearly like I guess very obviously based on like Middle Eastern, like or Saudi Arabia stuff, right? But like they won't acknowledge the fact that like when they made all these Disney movies, it was a time in American history where like white people everything. Like there were no people of color, at least like from their perspective. Like it was either like everyone was white or like, yeah, like go white or go broke was like sort of the thing at the time. And I don't think the success of the movie had anything to do with losing people of color. I don't think, yeah, I think it's because like they focus too much on quote unquote having the right color or on being woke or whatever, that they lost sight of what made their movies actually good. Have you heard that beautiful song from the Black Ariel movie? No. I did not even get a single whiff of that movie. I just saw like the CG. I saw that they were trying to go woke, and I was immediately like, okay, they put too much effort on trying to go woke. That this is just clearly going to be an awful movie. I think everything stopped becoming good after 2015, not mentioning the few good things. Yeah, and like, so along the lines of that statement, Mighty, there was, I think, oh, it was from, ooh, shoot, I can't remember the name of the channel. I'm subscribed to it. I'm subscribed to it. The name of the guy who runs the channel is Dagogo. Like, obviously, I don't think that's his real name, but like, he refers to himself as Dagogo. Man, what was the name of his channel? Let me see if I can look it up. Cold Fusion. There you go. Cold Fusion. Made a couple... I don't remember exactly when. It was within the last 1 or 2 years. Made a video stating that the real economy died in 2008. And I think it's a lot more like, because he's I believe he's American. I'm not exactly sure on that, but most of this stuff that he talks about is like very clearly like global stuff, but like it is just so much more clear to see in America. And I think it's true. I think the actual economy died in 2008, or at least somewhere around that time. Because since 2008, because like I don't know, it just feels like before 2008, like in the early 2000s, in the 1990s, and before that, like 80s, 70s, 60s, it just feels like corporations were making goods and selling them by trying to be the best. They're trying to sell the best goods. Right? Like they were trying to be better than everyone else, and that's what would garner them more sales. Is because everyone wants the better thing. Everyone wants the cheaper and better thing. But then somewhere along the late 2000s, it feels like it just like, okay, obviously that's already capitalism, right? But just I cannot keep the word capitalism out of my mind whenever I think about what happened after, like towards the end of the 2000s, like the later 2000s, and in the 2010s, and even now in the 2020s. Hey, what's up, Potato? Of course, man. Of course. How you been? also can't relate with the need for representation in games. I want to play a fairy ogre princess, not myself. Hello, I want a hot, thick woman with a huge sword. Long time, buddy. How are you? Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. Not great, but not terrible. My wife is sick, and my son is. My wife and son are sick. Thankfully, my wife's on the way to recovery. I would be better if they fully recovered already. But yeah, otherwise good. Otherwise good. It's pretty busy, I would say. Oh, hey, that's good. Busy means productive, right? Busy often means productive. So I hope it's at least productive. AI was okay when it was funny. Imposing it on me makes it not fun. Yeah, right? Like, man, oh my god, it's so stupid how like every company out there that has nothing to do with tech, they feel, I don't know, they just feel like, oh no, we have to use AI in our product somehow. And like, but then if you think about it, before the late 2010s, like in the 2000s and before, right, somewhere around that time in the past, we just referred to that as an algorithm. And nowadays, oh, we use AI to do this, do that. If we use AI, you're like, there were some beds that would detect, like, keep track of the temperature. Yeah, keep track of the. Oh, sorry, not beds, but like bed sheets. Bed sheets that would keep track of your like temperature of whoever's like on the bed, and it would use that to like to change its temperature, you know, to make for a more comfortable sleep. Right, but like that's like we didn't used to refer to that as AI. We used to just refer to that as it was just an algorithm. We use a special algorithm to keep track of your sleep. Oh boy, run away. I can't run away. This week was terrible for me. I ate a fish and bit a bone and went through my upper mouth. I have a hole. Oh man, that sucks. You know, I'm lucky. No, you know what? I'm not gonna say this, because if I say this, then oh my god, the fact that I've thought about it already means that it's gonna happen. It's too late to save myself now. Never mind. But yeah, I remember seeing my wife a couple, like, this was in 2012 when we were living together in that studio apartment in Cebu. We were eating fish, and she somehow ate a fish bone, and like it lodged itself into the side of not the throat, but like the back of her mouth, like, you know, right, like the sorry, what is this? I don't remember this. Oh yeah, this thing. What a weird sound. It sounded like something from Aliens. And she asked me to look at it, and then I was like, I can't see anything. But she said, no, there's something there. Like, she could feel it. And then like at some point she used a pair of tweezers. Used a pair of tweezers and like looked in the mirror herself to, I guess, just to guess where she felt like it was.
燃やし尽くせ。長い夜を燃やし尽くし。
And lo and behold, yeah, there was like a pretty long piece of bone in there. Like she eventually got it out. It was crazy. Like, I watched her pull it out, and it was really disturbing to watch. Just to see that thing lodged in a human being. It's terrifying truth that it will become a norm someday. Probably even helper robots or something. Well, that is if the world doesn't explode in a nuclear war. Yeah, that's true. But then the way things are going at this point, right, with everything being a subscription, I can't help but feel like it's going to be a subscription, or it's like it's gonna be something like, oh, it doesn't work if it's offline, it needs to be connected to the internet, and then like all of us will just have this, like, you know, this camera and cameras and microphones that like these like mega corporations always have access to. And I think that's going to be the future. If we are even remotely, if we are to live in an even remotely modern house, right? Like we have anything modern in our houses, I think that's going to be the case in the future. Otherwise, you'll be living out in the countryside, on a farm maybe. Everything's going to be connected to the internet. Like, you won't even own your computer, right? Like, if you want a computer, you'll have to pay for a subscription for it. Okay, cloud computing. I don't know. So I ate some fun yesterday, and my body was so hot, I felt sick all day. Black throat sounds like heck. You hear that, you two? I'm disappointed that I need to say heck and not the double L word. Oh. Yeah. If anything goes on in Nitro, we won't feel it unless the only the radiation hits us, which is worse than perishing. Yeah. You know, that's really my problem with Earth and humanity ending, like, you know, in the next few decades, by nuclear war, is I'll be here. That's my problem. I'll still be here by then. And if it's by nuclear war, it's possible. Like, there's not really, like, any valuable targets here in the city that I live in, like, valuable military targets, so I don't. And it's not a big enough city that I think is like valuable enough, right? And it's not even like a city that there's like that produces weapons or produces anything that could be remotely useful to any military on Earth anywhere. So I think we wouldn't even get nuked. We wouldn't even get chosen for nuking. We would just like, and what would happen is like everyone here would just slowly die from cancer and like whatever radiation poisoning from all the radiation in the atmosphere if nuclear war were to ever happen anywhere.
最後の帰化聖夜の巡礼を終えた時、祝賀会優れた戦士、それゆえ
祝賀会を開く。
ああ、さあじゃあいい。
私もこういう時こそ写真機の出番だな。でもそれで
自分のためのさあ行こう。ナタとアビスとの長き戦いの歴史に
I was thinking about moving to other better habitable planets when they're done eating everything here and making it a weapon against our own planet. Funny in a way, but God might not laugh. You know, I think it's kind of stupid that we're looking to find a new habitable planet. Like, the thing is, okay, sure, it will be like if we think about it from, let's say, like a sci-fi movie's perspective, right? Like a scientific perspective, it would be sort of like a good indicator of how well we have evolved as a civilization technologically. And then cool. But then, if you look at it from life's perspective, life developed here on Earth, which means Earth had exactly what life needed to be able to evolve from a non-living thing into a living thing. And Earth also had everything that this new living thing needed to continue to survive. So why do we need to go there? Why do we need to go find another planet? You know, the fact that those other planets did not do not have life now means that they likely do not have what Earth had at the time when this transition, this very slow and gradual, slow and long transition from non-living thing to living thing happened. We're so good as a species that we abandon our planet instead of fixing it. Right? Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, we abandon our planet instead of fixing it. And then there's the thing too, is like every time people offer a, let's say, hey, this is a problem and here is how we fix it. Like everyone is immediately like, oh, it's not realistic, it's not viable. Like, what's viable about keeping our planet safe for us to live on? Right? What's not viable about that? Because okay, I understand capitalism, right? Like, no one is willing to spend money that they won't get back in return, or like they won't get something important in return for it, right? Like, but like, screw you, like, man, that's so stupid. I understand that no one wants to do it alone, and that's the problem. I think that's the problem. Is like, if you offered it to someone, let's say you offered to say, hey, I know that we have this problem, and I know that this is how to fix it. And I know how to do it. I know how to do it. If you give me money, then I will do it. I will fix our planet. But if you only said that to, let's say, the U.S. government, the U.S. government doesn't want to do it if they're the only one doing it. Right? But then, yeah, and if they did do it, like, they want something in return. And, like, when you, okay, if you worked so hard that you were able to offer that to every government on the planet, at some point, some of them will want something in return. It's like some of them will actually maybe say in good faith, say yes. But some of them will also want something in return. And then the other ones who didn't want something in return will think, hey, why did they get something in return? We want something in return too. It's just stupid. It's greed. Greed, like, it's unfounded greed. Like, okay, and this is something that I've often mentioned and thought about the previous administration in our city, in the city I live in. And so how they ruled the city is very different from how the current administration governs the city now. And now, the current administration seems to be very business focused. Like, what they're doing is they're helping the economy grow. They're helping the economy grow because when the economy grows, they will grow along with it, right? Like, imagine somebody, like, let's say a corrupt government official steals money from the government. Cool. But then they steal it when the government is, like, the government's income in their region is so small. Like, they don't have a proper, like, healthy economy. Like, why steal pennies now when you could just help everyone get rich, right? Like, help everyone get rich, and then you can steal from everyone when everyone's rich. You'll be able to steal way more later on. Right? Like, if we just did things right first, we will all get way more than how much we're getting now. Toast with peanut butter. Oh man. Oh, speaking of peanut butter, I love peanut butter and bananas. Like, I was so surprised when my wife taught me about it. Like, she made me try it. And I don't know. Like, I don't know why, but like my whole life, peanut butter and bananas just never occurred to me, like, as a mixture. And when my wife told me about it, I was like, what? Like, it just did not occur to me that they would have, like, a good mixture. But when I tried it, it blew my mind. It was so good. Peananas. Nuts are always so good. Which nuts? Sorry, man. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it, man. It was such low-hanging fruit. It was such low-hanging fruit. It was right there. I couldn't help but pick it. You see the example I made? Sorry, example of... Since I made intestines, doesn't like nuts anymore. Can't think of a better example. Oh, then my kid won't do the dishes. Who's gonna do it? The mom, of course. So if the government isn't gonna fix it, we might or not. yeah, right. I hate you, RJ. So sorry, man. It was such low-hanging fruit. It was right there. Like, think about this, right? You're just walking out on the street, and then you're just going on a walk with your friend. You're going out on a walk with your friend, and you're like, suddenly, like, somewhere along the street, there's like this really low apple tree, and there's literally like 2 or 3 apples right there, like, just hanging right there, and it's clearly not private property. It's just above the street. Like, like, man, you gotta say, it's pretty hard not to just pick those apples. I didn't want to steer into that direction, but now the path is planted green. Rereading the comments sounds very funny. No. Oh, hey, wrong person. Can you remind me again, who this in HSR, this I don't know why I really like this character from HSR, but I keep forgetting her name. So Wolf Lady General, who was it again? I keep forgetting her name. The same, like she's voiced by the same Japanese VA as Mavuika's Japanese VA.
あいつら
Just tested my friend because I want to share some of my elements with him. Texted. I assume that's what that is. Her voice went on frequency. What's that? Frequency? Frequency that made me think my brain is doing weird sounds. Wait, who's... Oh, Fei Xiao, thank you. Whose voice? Sorry, Mighty. I really haven't been paying attention to the dialogue. Fei Xiao, thank you. Then I said, want some of my... Yikes. RJ playing HSR now? No. I just really like this this character, Fei Xiao, from HSR. Then I said, want some more? Yeah, I read it. I even laughed at it. That's funny. Did they respond? Did your friend respond? So okay, they have the same like Japanese voice actress, right? And what I can derive from that is that they wanted to give Mavuika the same presence as Fei Xiao, right? Like this like this single, like really strong, independent lady who is of a really high ranking, very strong combat-wise, right? And is just second to none combat-wise. And I like Fei Xiao way more than I do Mavuika, even though they have a similar like image, they have a similar characterization, because Fei Xiao has some flaws to her. Like she has this like wolf spirit thing that's like in her, right? I don't know, like that's from my understanding of it. And she also, she's so carefree. She seems so carefree, and that she even like stops to like help out little people. Like that scene in that video where she stops to like catch someone's vase from falling. Like she caught like this girl's like apples, like put it back in her basket. Like it just like despite being so strong, like still stops to help the little people. And also like, even though she does all of that, along with all of that, she has her own like inner demons. Like it just it feels so much more attractive as a character. My friend's a pretty innocent dude, so he just went. Oh my god. Well, hey, at least you got people you can share that experience with, because there's no way you're gonna be able to tell your friend exactly what just happened in your conversation with him, right? At least you got us to listen to that, to you telling us about it. That's funny. So focused on our topic that when I heard her, it hit a neuron of fear. Oh, whoa, that's weird. Another Xiao, but at least she's hotter than Xiao. He basically has inner demons that inner demons just drink. Just think of it that way. The story didn't really address it very well. Yeah, I think so. But hey, at least like I don't care if it like gave me all the details. I got everything that I needed from it. I got a very good picture of like I got a good picture of like what kind of person she is. You know, I say person in air quotes because like fictional, right? Fictional character. I thought your favorite was Fugui. No, Fugui was just eye candy. Yeah, eye candy. Characterization-wise, I like Fei Xiao a lot. Fugui is like she tickles the inner man in me. She tickles the man side of me. Like the person side of me, just the normal person side. I would say like Fei Xiao is like somebody that I would love to hang out with. Fugui is somebody that I just like to watch, you know. Fuga is just somebody that I'd like to watch. Watch Fei Zhao's in-game cutscenes, you'd be more in awe. I have watched a few in-game cutscenes, and it was that time when I first learned about Fei Zhao. I watched a couple of her in-game cutscenes from like I'm pretty sure it was a quest. Let's guilt trip him into watching the 3.0 trailer. I'm sorry, man. I'm too much of a jerk to be. I'm too much of a jerk to be guilt tripped into doing anything. RJ, if you don't watch the 3.0 trailer, I'm unsubscribing. I gotta say, I'm conflicted right now. Like, if I was like some big content creator, I had like a couple 100,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, I would say like, okay, well, unsubscribe if you don't, if you don't like me, if you don't like my content. Like, I would just go like that. But seeing as like how like small I am, and like you are like what 2 of the 10 people that are like constantly here when I stream. That's like what 20% of people instantly gone. Alright, so like I actually have to think about it, just because of this situation. But I also know that you guys are just kidding. But I also know that you would be really happy if I just watched it. You won't regret it. The 3.0 trailer was absolute peak. Well, if I said I was gonna watch it, I might end up lying to you, especially if I forget to watch it. So I'm just not gonna watch it. I'm just not gonna say I'm gonna watch it. I'm just gonna say cool. Sorry. I wish I could give you a better answer. It's so hyped to have me screaming to my best friend about it. You know, if Genshin suddenly had some kind of like trailer, not trailer, yeah, like it could be something like that, a trailer, a cutscene that gave me the same feeling as I had when I watched certain scenes of Pacific Rim for the first time. I would like, that would be the day. That would be the day. Like those scenes where they start playing the theme song, or like whatever it is, the theme tune for Pacific Rim, and then like Gypsy Danger, like starting up to like I don't know, like picking up that boat, dragging that boat along the street, and whacking the kaiju with it, like, and the music playing in the background. You know, I think the way this Archon Quest has been, I don't know about written, because like I don't think I can comment about the writing very much because I, you know, didn't really pay attention. But like the storyboarding, I love the storyboarding. It is so much better than what it used to be. The storyboarding and the storytelling. Okay. Oh man. I don't think. What is this thing that's giving me this red dot? Sorry, question by the way. So I got. Oh come on, what is this thing that's giving me this? Oh there, there it is. Okay, this thing. Oh yeah, okay, this thing. All right, I was so confused when I did this event, this one, because it gave me this, and I just could not find it. I just could not find where it was. Okay, I don't think I have enough time to do both Mavuika's and Citlali's story quests today. But I do have time to do this. And this. Oh, look, they gave me a cryo character. Hey, that tells me that I'm gonna get it real soon. And this. It's not happening. Okay, whose should I do first? Maybe. Citlali's first. Okay. I don't remember where I needed to teleport for this one. And this is why I don't gamble. What's up, Pobasaur? Good to see you, man. The thing is, Natlan's story quest is very affected by plot armor, which made it less impactful for me. Does anyone else relate? You mean the Traveler? Like, Fontaine got me feeling like it could actually have ended in tragedy. Yes, yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah, it just, like, it didn't feel like there were any stakes. It didn't, like, you know, remember the thing that I said earlier about, Guardians of the Galaxy? It kind of felt like that. It felt like there were no stakes. There was no actual risk of losing or anyone dying. Although, even though, like a couple of patches ago, like, it said that there were, like, thousands of people died. And they made me see it, right? Like, you can see NPCs, or character models of NPCs that were lying on the ground. NPCs of people and Saurians and stuff. But it just, I don't know. It just didn't feel like there were any stakes. Suspense and political nuances. Yeah. You know what you should do? Watch the 3.0 trailer. You're like LTT with like their randomly plugging the LTT store. Oh yeah, oh my god. I still have to go through, I still have to do the Imaginary Theater, the Spiral Abyss, and oh man, I'm not even sure if I can even complete the Imaginarium Theater this this time, because especially my second account, I might be able to do it at the lower difficulties, but not Visionary mode, because this time my second account especially was missing 5 characters to be able to enter Visionary mode. It only had 17 I guess qualified characters, and what I did was I just raised 5 characters to level 70. I didn't bother gearing them. I just leveled them to level 70 just so I can enter Visionary mode. I just haven't had the time yet to do Imaginary Theater, but I just can't help but feel like I might run into trouble because of that.
メインの主の歴史に関することでね。はい。普段はこんな話を聞いてくれる人めったにいないんですけど。
It's perfectly fine if you don't. Just joking around. Because you don't play HSR, so you won't feel the same hype. I'm, pretty sure that's the case. I mean, I will watch it if I remember it. But I think, I probably will watch it and I'll be like, yeah, okay. Those thousands of people who died really meant nothing to us, but at least I was a little sad about Qiqi and Vichama's death. Yeah, right? Like, they didn't mean anything to us. Like, we didn't spend any time with them. We didn't even know them. We didn't know their faces, their names, nothing. You know, while I'm here, I might as well unlock this teleporter. How do you get to this teleporter again? Like, where is the thing for this? So it's a cave. Oh, there. Okay.
I
I don't know why I'm actually mad that it's just the Abyss we fought, not the Prince, not our sibling. This feels like lazy plot. It's the Abyss, yeah, but it would have been nice to wage war against our sibling. And I think they could have okay, when you say lazy plot, I think one simple thing that they could have done was they could have just given us like a short cutscene, right? Like whether it was a pre-rendered cutscene or just a few more extra lines of dialogue in the game that we'd have to click through, where we spent time talking to some of the warriors, right? Like where we would be having dinner, having some kind of having a bonfire with a bunch of the guys that we were gonna be fighting alongside with, and like one of them telling us a story of their kids, right? Saying like for example, I remember this scene from the movie Achilles. If you guys haven't watched it, like I highly recommend it. It's a really cool movie. Achilles. it was, I don't know, from the 2000s. The movie Achilles, played by Brad Pitt. Whether you like Brad Pitt or hate him, doesn't matter. Still a really good movie. And there was this one very simple scene, and it didn't have anything to do with the movie's main plot. But it was just the main character, one of the main characters, sitting with one of the men, one of the soldiers, who was carving a small wooden block into something that looked like a horse, and said that, oh, it's for my son back home. And just that one simple line of dialogue is immediately enough to remind us that, oh, this unnamed soldier has a son back home. He's a real person. It's immediately enough to remind us that this is a real person. This is a real person. He has a life. If he wasn't being forced to fight in this war, then he would have been at home. I don't know, working at home. Would have been at home working. It would have been like helping set the table. He would have been chopping firewood. He would have been doing stuff like that.
Hey, hey.
弱い数百の大シャーマン殿がこんなにこうしてお会いできましたし、少しお話。
グラスバーバがどんな人物か聞いたことある？君たちのちんけな芝居にだ。君と話すつもり。もしまた同じ旅人戻って。
I don't know if I'm apathetic or just rational sometimes. Others cry for those people who died in the Abyss War, but I didn't even bat an eye. And I think it's just that we just didn't, we just weren't able to form any sort of connection with them. We just weren't able to form any sort of connection with them. We weren't reminded that these were real people with real lives. Obviously fictional, right? But like they weren't humanized very well. They weren't given the opportunity to be humanized. Like okay, like for example, I've noticed in the last 5 to 10 years there have been a few more movies where the antagonist is given some screen time. Is given some screen time and is given some time to explain why they're doing the things that they're trying to do. Like Thanos, for example. Like Thanos, right? Like Thanos had some reasons. And that's one of the reasons why Thanos is so memorable. Is because he was humanized. He was humanized. He was given a reason for what he was doing. And at that point, like it gives you this like little part of you that is a little bit in conflict, because like you agree with what they're doing, but at the same time they are still the antagonist. So in the end they're still gonna lose because it's a movie. But some part of you, some small part of you, doesn't want them to lose. Me with Garo from One Punch Man. Yeah, right. Like yeah. Like Garo, right? Garo was given a backstory. Garo was in from One Punch Man was given a backstory. So some part of you doesn't want him to lose. He was humanized. They gave us a reason to be able to connect with Garo. In fact, we have more of a reason to connect with Garo and some of the other characters in One Punch Man than Saitama himself. We just, the fact that Saitama is the protagonist is probably the biggest reason why we want him to win. And the fact that everyone underestimates him and that no one knows how like OP he is, and we are just always looking for that next moment, that next scene when like one of the super powerful characters who had no idea about how powerful Saitama was, eventually finds out how powerful he is and like how underpowered they are, how like insignificant they are compared to Saitama's power. That's sort of like what most of us are looking for. We don't want Saitama to lose because we want that next moment when like someone's mind is blown. I actually supported him more than anyone. Yeah, like in that scene, like even regardless of whether you saw what happened to him or not. Yeah, like in that arc, like they gave Garo way more. They gave people way more of a reason to be attached to Garo than they did Saitama. Would anyone care to enlighten me as to what happened with Garo in the end? Like a story summary? I always wanted Garo to win. So, what was the last bit that you remember? That I could start with that. I guess it's also my fault because I didn't finish the Tribal Chronicles first before the Abyss War happened. I would have been able to. Oh yeah, because like when you do quests in Genshin Shinran, you actually do pay attention, right? So maybe it's possible that maybe you would have actually cared a bit more if you did the Tribal Chronicles first. Two old men beat him up. I still remember that scene when he learned from the doggy guy. He learned from the doggy guy? Bro, he didn't learn from the doggy hero, like whatever his name was. He went to the city that the dog S-class hero was protecting. He got beat up and then like just went somewhere else. Dyed his hair red in blood. That scene, that was pretty much where I stopped. He copied moves. Are still alive, at least was when I was watching manga, reading manga, even after losing to Saitama. So essentially what happened after that, at some point the Monster Association tried to recruit him, tried to give him a monster seed. For context, a monster seed is like if you eat it, you turn into a monster. You either die or you turn into a monster. Hey, what's up, Saeed? You're not gonna pull Mavuika? I did on my first account, but not on my third and second accounts. I'm on my third account right now, and I'm trying to go for Citlali. I'll just go for Mavuika on her rerun. So the Monster Association offered Garo a monster seed. They tried to recruit him. Garo said no. He fought a couple more heroes, some A-class heroes. I think this was before he fought against, like, as you said, the two old men. Those two were S-class heroes. Well, one was a hero, the other one was his brother, but just as strong. Wasn't a hero, but just as strong. At some point, he got so beat up that the Monster Association took him to their hideout. He didn't eat the monster seed. He rejected it, but and okay, this part is lost to me. This part is lost to me, but at some point he somehow got powers, was given some of God's powers. Like, there's this sort of like God figure who seems to be an antagonist in One Punch Man. Is given a bit of God's power, and he slowly turns into a monster, even without eating the monster seed. Slowly becomes monsterizes, and he fights off a bunch of the S-class heroes, including Dark Hero Shine, whatever his name is. He beats Dark Shine. I don't remember who else he fought. He never really ended up killing anyone, but he did beat up Darkshine. Well, not beat up, more like Darkshine was disappointed in himself because Garo was able to do something to him. Sorry, I'm from Indonesia. My English is not good. Oh, it's okay, Saeed. No problem, man. No problem. You don't need to have good English to be, to be here. You don't need to have good English to be here. As long as you understand me, I understand you. Hey, we're good. That's the important part of communication. I just saw Genshin Impact X HSR OST edit. It was epic. Search OP. Oh, okay. Well, that one's for you. Wrong person. Yeah, that certainly one is for you. And then at some point, the fight between the heroes and the Monster Association ended. And then Garo was like the only one left. None of the S-class heroes were capable of fighting anymore, and none of the S-class heroes were gonna be a match for Garo. Maybe who was Fubuki's older sister? The green girl? Green, what's her name? Tornado M. Yeah, but what was her like actual name? I can't remember. Tornado. Oh yeah, Mavuika. I hope I get Mavuika, but I haven't money to top up. Yeah, it's alright. Me too, Saeed. And I'm not going for Mavuika on my third account and second account because like you, I don't have the money to top up. Terrible Tornado? No, like they had actual names. Tatsumaki. Tatsumaki. So Tatsumaki was too tired to be able to fight. I think Tatsumaki might have been the only S-class hero who might have been some kind of match to Garo at the time. He was like monsterized at the time, like his like character design, like he was just like black. He was just an outline, but like black, and then what looked like dots, like that looked like outer space. Like that was just like what he looked like. And then at some point, Saitama got so fed up, like because like there was this kid. Remember this kid that was following Garo around, like because Garo saved him. Garo saved him, and like this kid was like following Garo around, and Garo sort of didn't want to disappoint this kid because I don't know, he somehow got attached to this kid and like started to actually care about what this kid thought about him.
もっと上よ。上？おお、まるで秘密基地みたいだな。ずっと家にいるとたまに外の空気を吸いたくなるのよね。ここに隠しておいたおつまみは問題なし。ハルバード最長に取られてなくてよかった。
Tried to make Garo mad, and then like so they fought, and at some point, how did they get there? Oh no. Shoot, what was his name? The number one S class hero. What's it? What was his name? I don't remember. The guy who makes portals and like fist bumps himself and makes portals. I don't remember. Oh, Blast, thank you. At some point, Blast shows up. Thank you, yeah. At some point, Blast shows up, and then he finds out about Saitama. It's like, wow, this dude's like so strong. And then like him and Garo. No. There was like a point where him, Garo, and no, it was Garo and Flashy Flash. Yeah. They were just like speeding across the sky against each other, and like it looked like there were like lines of colors in the sky. I don't remember what happened to Flashy Flash though. I don't remember him losing, but I remember just I don't know. I just remember him just not being there all of a sudden.
この手が何気なくでもたとえ翌年知り合いのほとんどがそう。その一輪と同じように去っていった。
Arjun, you have to see this is for you. The Genshin version. The Genshin version? What do you mean the Genshin version? I thought it was just Genshin and HSR in one video. Oh, you can have 3 accounts, Genshin Impact, that's so great. I just have 1 account and I play just by phone and not really good phone for this game. It's not easy, Sayed. You should not do what I do. You should not have more than 1 account in Genshin. It's not good. Imagine everything I'm doing now. I'm doing a quest. Imagine doing this 3 times. Not just this, but everything. Imagine doing everything 3 times. Right? So no, don't have. Stay with 1 account. Yeah, and I'm really sorry, like about like not a good phone for this game. Right? I understand it sucks. I hate. That's one of the things that sucks about just not having a lot of money, and it's just you can see that everyone has cool toys, but you can't afford those cool toys. And it sucks when you're a kid, and it sucks even more when you're an adult. Because when you're a kid, like it only sucks because like your parents don't have the money for it. Right? But when you're an adult, you know that you can actually work for it, but you just know that you aren't able to work hard enough for it, right? Like, well, you can work really hard for it, but you just like depending on what your job is, you just know that you're not gonna be able to afford it, regardless of how hard you work. Agree. 100% maintaining 1 account alone feels kind of hell. At this point, like I've recently been taking it a little bit easier. Like I haven't been grinding Genshin as much as I used to, and it's cool. It's good. It feels good, and it feels really good. But it's not enough. It really is not enough time to be able to keep up with like everything in Genshin, especially if you want to 100% maps, if you want to do all the quests, do all the events and stuff. It's really not enough time, especially if you're not in high school, if you're not a kid, right? Like if you're in like senior high, if you're a college student, then you're gonna have to be doing a lot of homework, a lot of studying, a lot of exams and stuff. If you're a working adult, then you really won't have time for it at all. One account I think is just right. Flashy Flash somehow got trapped in a place with Saitama where they meet Blast, finding his cube for fun. Yeah, okay. Like this was so long ago that I don't remember. I think this was before Flashy Flash fought Garo. And then Flashy Flash was so surprised. He was sweating bullets. He was sweating when he just realized that Saitama just dodged his like best strike like nothing. Even tried to leave Saitama behind, and Saitama was just casually jogging next to him. Speaking of quests, I still have 2 games that I need to finish. Oh my god, no. 2 games. Not even 2 accounts, man. 2 games. At the very least, like with 2 accounts in one game, like you did the same quest already. Now you just gotta do it again. So at least you know exactly what you're gonna be doing in case like there are moments where like it asks you to do some kind of puzzle, right? Like at least the same game, different accounts. Like you know exactly what you're going to be doing already. But like different quests in different games means that each time is like the first time, which means you're gonna have to figure out something all over again. Figure something out all over again for the first time each time. It's been like 1 year since I read it too. I also don't remember the sequence. Yeah, right. Like it's at some point like Garo fought Flashy Flash, and then I don't remember if Flashy Flash lost or if he lost. Then like how did he lose? But I just remember at some point like Garo wasn't fighting Flashy Flash anymore. That's sort of all I remember. And then oh yeah, that's right. This thing. And then like it was the whole like Saitama like tried to make Garo mad by saying like because and it's a little weird because this part of the manga the writer like Omori, I think it was his name, right? Like the creator of One Punch. Yeah. Oh, Murata. Wait, who am I thinking of? Omori.
考古学的な視点では十分驚くべき発見ですよ。
ほら、無駄話はやめて。
I think Omori is... Oh, Danmachi, I think. Okay, no, that's wrong. Yeah, Danmachi. So, Murata. So, no. Wrong person. They did actually give him a sort of redemption arc. It was much later on. At some point, Saitama beat him up so badly. he kept getting stronger too. Like Garo kept getting stronger and stronger. At some point, they were transported to one of Jupiter's moons, and then they fought there. Obviously, Saitama can't fly, right? But they fought on one of Jupiter's moons. At some point, Garo suddenly developed some kind of like powers to make some kind of powers to make portals. But then like Saitama, it's Saitama. Like with no powers at all, just brute strength. And I guess plot armor, was just able to like physically hold the portals and then just win. Yusuke Murata, yeah, thank you. Hey, what's up, Ali? How you doing, man? So yeah, he beat Garo so badly. At some point, Saitama did a he called the move a serious table flip. He holds the portals as wide, right? It's dude, if you read it, it's mind blowing. How stupid they somehow made Saitama to be. like physically like holding portals and like just like casually spinning them and like moving them, throwing them. Like Saitama's just that guy. It gets even crazier once later on, unrelated to Garo, it gets even crazier. And so okay, and even related to Garo, in the same fight at some point, so Saitama does what he referred to as a series table flip. He called the move a table flip because it got annoying that Garo was like, oh well, you know, goodbye. He got annoyed by Garo just having being able to fly and having a bunch of portals to be able to move around anywhere, anytime. Saitama did like what he referred to as a table flip. Imagine a table flip, but like on a planetary scale. And oops, 5. So he just ripped up the surface of one of the moons, one of Jupiter's moons, and then all of a sudden we have a bunch of like, I don't know, hundreds or tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of where should I be going? Hundreds of thousands of debris floating around in space, and then Saitama all of a sudden had the capability of moving around in the air as well. Bro through a planet. No, not necessarily through the planet, but like yeah, he just created debris that was floating around in the air so that he could sort of move around in the air too. At some point he beat up Garo so badly. Garo tried to escape, said like this monster shouldn't be allowed to roam around free on Earth. So he teleported back to Earth. No, how did it go again? I don't remember, but at some point they were on a trajectory towards the sun, and Garo was like, all right, okay, I could just like portal back to Earth, and then this guy will just go to the sun, right? Sayonara. And then at some point Saitama caught up. So question, how did he catch up, right? So he felt a breeze, so he farted so hard that it boosted him. Oh well, goodbye. It boosted him and he caught up to Garo like instantly. And remember, Garo was using portals to travel around, right? Like, so it's instant travel, instant transportation. And then he farted, and that was enough to boost him fast enough that he just caught up instantly to Garo. Did you see the manga cover where he was bench pressing 2 black holes? Yeah, I saw that. I remember that one. Yeah, it got kind of weird somewhere around here, because like the writer, so Murata rewrote a bunch of stuff. Like there was this scene where before they went to space, there was this scene where Saitama beat up Garo badly on Earth, still not in space yet. And then they just sat in this like little broken shack in the middle of the ocean, because like everything around them had already been destroyed, and they just talked for a little. But it's weird, like it's like some kind of like scene that Murata created and then like added into the official story and then removed later on, but it's still there. It's weird. I'm trying to do housework right now and I can't stop laughing. I won't even begin to ask how he can breathe or keep the gas in him. Yeah, okay, that's hey, it's, you know, as I think it was someone said who was it? I think it was Shinran. Someone said earlier Saitama is just that kind of guy. I think it was Ali, maybe, I don't remember. You have some words to support me? Saeed, if you like Genshin, keep playing. You'll enjoy yourself.
事実なんて誰が
Just don't expect too much.
私の出版した内容が人々に認められた時
As long as you keep your expectations
それは嘘
normal,
では
just fine. You'll continue to be happy.
あなたの利益の観点
了解噂を聞いた
Sorry, Sai. That's all I can say, really.
必ずは200年以上印刷業界で私は
Just don't expect too much.
そんなの
That's all I can say.
おや
ピーチクパーチク
どうしても手を出すってんなら
He just held his breath. It's simple.
ここからは俺の手番
Only character who can hurt Saitama until now is a cat. Oh, no, and the mosquito.
俺たちは金の
Well, the mosquito didn't hurt Saitama, I guess, but like just Saitama just couldn't catch it.
静粛にせいそこだ
Oops.
お披露目だじゃあ行くよ口封じは任せたからねナタの大英雄とグラスバーバがいる
このままじゃ損失が利益を上回っちまう
And then at some point, so yeah, at some point, Saitama just beat Garo up so badly. They got back to Earth, and then I don't remember. It was this kid, I think. It was this kid that kept following Garo around. Somehow managed to change Garo around, and there was also So Garo eventually just decided to turn himself in to the authorities, and he was just given community service. And it was weird because there was something that happened, like it was something to do with time. It like reversed time or erased history, something like that. I don't remember.
俺が理由
I don't remember. Like no one remembers what happened. Saitama doesn't remember. Garo doesn't remember. Only Blast remembers. Yeah, only Blast is the one that remembers what actually happened. So Garo just got caught by the local authorities, just the local cops, and was just given community service. But like Garo sort of learned his lesson and just turned himself in and just decided to do community service. So yeah, he did get some a sort of redemption arc.
普通の方法じゃダメそうだなどうしよう色
Still wish he won. He did win against so many S-class heroes, but not against Saitama. It's just that kind of anime, man. It's just that kind of anime. He won against a bunch of S-class heroes.
あの秘術はただ秘術の影響つまり褒めてくれてどあいにく今は昔手伝ってシトラリは空間を最高さっきシトラリ人々が互い特に生死を私はけどその色この空間をだって何よ君が毎日のように喧嘩をふっかけてきたからでしょ
I should probably get back into MHA. Sorry, what is MHA?
君はここに来たのはシトラリええあの色こそより的確この秘術をでこれはシトラリだから君の
Oh, My Hero Academia?
私はシトラリの
Oh yeah. Okay, right. I don't know why. Like I just lost interest in My Hero Academia.
シトラリ秘術の本質は理解した普通の方法で出口を再構築で待って分かってるでもあの子たちを助けるためなら絶対に旅人
I think maybe it's because like the last
だからあなたに具体的にその何かはシトラリ
the last one or the last part of My Hero Academia I saw was that part where like the villains this villain that had a bunch of hands and had like the power of rot or something made a building rot. That's all I remember. And somewhere around there the main plot just moved so slowly that it just wasn't interesting to me anymore. It was just too slow. So I just lost interest.
あの悪党とファデュイのリーダーは私たち遺跡とともにそれでもぼんやりとだけ
すみません。
あの悪徳商人に雇われ
もう誤解しないでください。門でも脱出でき
いずれにせよ
わかりました。
それより
While we're on the subject of anime, I recently finally pushed myself to watch Jujutsu Kaisen. And it's okay. It has really good fight scenes though. It has really good action, really good animation, really good fight coordination. It's really good. The only anime I've ever finished watching ever is Sword Art Online. Can you really say that you've finished watching it when it's still going on? Because like they're still actually releasing more and more seasons of it, right? In fact, like they even released. What's funny is that everywhere I see it, Gun Gale Online, right? Gun Gale Online. They always have. Like it's included in the title apparently. Sword Art Online Alternative. Sword Art Online Alternative. Gun Gale Online. Because like I remember hearing about Sword Art Online when I was like in college, I think, or high school, and it was like I don't know, like time gets weird when you get old, right? Like I can't even tell like which era this was in anymore, but like I was still surprised to hear more Sword Art Online in the last 5 years, when I think I remember hearing about Sword Art Online for the first time 10 to 15 years ago. I just thought it was finished already.
君の手を煩わすことはない。でもあの秘術を受け継ぐのはついてきて。
I can make stream like you, but my mother and father won't support that. Hey, don't worry, Saeed. When you get older, when you get older, you can do anything you want. When you get a job, you live on your own. You can do whatever you want. Just wait until you get older. Just stay in school, work hard, get a good job, or start your own business. Earn a decent amount of money. You don't have to earn a lot of money. Just earn a good amount of money, and you can do whatever you want. I'm old already. I live on my own. I have a job, so I can do whatever I want. So there's the 100 Floors, Fairy Dance, Gun Gale Online, Naked Lady Season, War of the Underworld. Is that not all? I don't know. I've never really been into Sword Art Online. All I know is that I heard about Sword Art Online for the first time way long ago, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. I don't remember anymore. And then like surprised to still hear about a new Sword Art Online 15 years later. That's all I remember, because like all those years of not hearing about it anymore, I just sort of thought, okay, it's finished, and then all of a sudden, wait, there's more. Weathering with you. Weathering with you? What's that? My all-time favorite is so basic though. Weathering with you. What's that? Is that an anime name or like a season of Sword Art Online?
今回だけよ。ようやく君の思いを理解できた。
Oh wait, I think. Hang on, I looked it up. Shoot, what is this about? It looks very familiar. Looks very, very familiar. I did not see this, but I remember seeing a summary video of this on YouTube. I don't remember what the story was anymore. But I remember, like, as I was listening to it, I remember feeling like it's just beautiful.
記憶の花畑の中で一緒に旅をしてくれる色を探す。
It's I would put it along the same lines as
あ
Akira.
の世界に行っ
It's
ても
different genre. It
鮮や
gives
か
you
な羽
different
に染まっ
feelings,
た
but like
空が見れますよ
same
うに。
quality of emotions.
あの世界の緑が冒険を愛する魂を受け入れますように。あの世界の青が遠方に憧れる方を支えますように。火山も忘れちゃいけない。危険をはらんではいるけど大地に贈り物をくれる。そして落書きも。これがないと夜の色は単調になってしまうから。最後は最後はやっぱり私の色も覚えてほしいな。それから君の色も覚えてほしい。つまるところウォーベンを染める方法ってことよね。チトラリに託したいのは染め方だけじゃない。さよなら友よ。
I remember watching Your Name as a kid. I
色を
didn't get
記
it.
憶に留めること
I
が
was so confused.
選ばれた人の
I
本当の使命
haven't
でしょ。
seen Your Name, but I
そうすれば
have again
彼らは
also
紙と
watched
文字
it
の砂丘に埋も
a
れずに済む。
summary video of it on YouTube. And yeah, those two. So what is it called? Your Name and Weathering what?
よくわかってるじゃない。
Weathering Waves? Sorry. Weathering with You. There you go. Weathering with You. I would put them in the same category. They're both beautiful. They're both beautifully written, beautiful story, beautiful plots, yeah, and beautiful characters. Just, it's awesome. It's incredible.
そうだったのか。でもそれなのに苦労ってば新しい人を選び
I
続
watched
ける
it.
んだもん。ね。
It's as one of my first anime. Wow, really? What a way to start, man. What a way to start.
それって私の色を選ぶとこの
Don't you dare mix Weathering with You with trash like.
友達ってそれならもう感覚を
A silent
共
voice
通
hit
と感覚
differently.
をそしてなるほど。じゃあ実際はほらでも安心して。そっか。まあ嘘なんだけど今回こうして一緒に過ごしたやっぱりね記憶によるつながり冗談よ。ただちょっと時間がかかると思う。私は隠し事
Me, one of my first anime, even though at the time I did not know what anime was, I just watched it and I thought cartoons, right? Was either Dragon Ball or Gundam or Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, my first anime. And I probably was too young to understand it enough at the time. But at the very least, I still felt this like magical feeling of watching them for the first time. Oh, Doraemon. I watched just barely any Doraemon. Yeah, because like the only Doraemon I had access to at the time was it was on TV, but it was on the local channel. But because it was on the local channel, it was also dubbed to Filipino, which I hated because the voices of the voice actors just did not match the characters.
「 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 !」 ! ちゃんと伝えてくれた？君たちも分かってる。
探しました。ここに
フォンテ
アリエとお呼びくだ。
Never understood because I watched it as a toddler.
ーヌ
Okay.
誤解なさらないで。本当に素晴らしいもん。
じゃあ大事な
The definition is anime is literally Japanese animations. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, cartoons. But nowadays, the word anime has a different meaning to it, right? Like when we say anime, we just think Japanese cartoon. And Japanese cartoon, like when we think of that, we know that it is of a certain type of storytelling, and it's typically of a certain type of genre. And it's also of a certain type of a certain quality. Anyone here watched To Your Eternity? No, I have not heard of it. Oh man, okay, not enough time to do Mavuika's story quest. I think I have no choice but to do this off stream, because I got work in less than 45 minutes from now. So I'm surprised I haven't heard anyone complain about the 5.3 Abyss. But at the same time, I also haven't heard anyone say the 5.3 Abyss is easy. So that tells me something. It doesn't tell me a lot, but it tells me something. Also, it might also be just because I haven't been streaming so much recently. So, most of the news I hear about Genshin, about the outside world, comes from you guys. So maybe that's why. Oh, you know what I thought? What I should do? I should. Where is he? No. Wait.
拙者を連れて行くのか?
Where is it? I can't remember where. Was it here? Yeah, I think that's right. Haven't seen much about Genshin at all. Hey, well, glad to hear that, man. I think that's good. For somebody who's so burnt out on Genshin, not hearing anything about it at all is a good thing. Usually when you watch anime, you need at least a couple of episodes or seasons to get attached to a character, and you would feel sad if they died. But in To Your Eternity, I cried in the first 15 minutes. Oh, speaking of crying, man, if you've seen Dandadan, I don't remember which episode. There was an episode in Dandadan. There's 0 lines, like 0 words happened. It was just visuals. Man, I don't remember the names of the characters, but it was this like dancing monster lady It was her backstory, and it was gut wrenching. Like watching it, man. It was beautifully animated, but it was like gut wrenching. I don't remember exactly which episode, but it was just like a voiceless, like animation, like backstory of like one of the monsters. I guess they were that like when she was still a human. It was their life story and how it ended. And it was awful. It was awful, but at the same time was beautifully made. Where is she? Your residence is getting dangerously close to capping. Please use it. Sadly, I've stopped watching anime. Now I only read Chinese novels. Does Pyro MC have 5-star multipliers? No. I think he might be usable, like with really good artifacts. But as for 5-star multipliers, no. I don't think so. Because I have yet to see anyone try and use Pyro Traveler as a DPS, as an on-field damage dealer. Also, don't worry, Ali. A daily server reset happens in 7 minutes from now. So that's why my resin is about to cap. Because daily server reset happens in 7 minutes. 6 minutes, 20 seconds from now. I want Mavuika? Yeah, I want a lot of stuff, man. I want a lot of stuff, but we can't have it. Pull in front of Capitano? Pull with what? I don't have anything else to pull with. Also, Citlali doesn't have anything to do with Capitano. Now that I've learned to appreciate Chinese novels, all anime stories feel bade. Just bade compared to it. Don't you have an emergency fund for when you just need like 5 to 10 primos? No. What for? What kind of emergency requires 5 to 10 primos? Oh yeah, that's right. Achievements. I just did the Archon Quest and it said all these story quests, so bound to have a few achievements here and there. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to. I just did the Archon Quest, which means I'll be able to get to activate Pyro Traveler's constellations. Like you are at 150 primos and need a little more primos? No. I would just say, okay, I don't have enough. Just accept reality. Someone help me to get Mavuika, please. I don't know of any way to help someone get a character, Saeed. Am I the only idiot here then? No, no. I understand why people would do that. It's just that I'm too realistic and jaded to hope like that. I just don't hope anymore. Yeah, but hey, daily server reset happens in 3 minutes. Oh, I guess the pyro things don't come out unless I hit enemies. But that would mean you have 150 primos and not 5 to 10. You know, I'm wondering how they do that. Like, how do they make this, like, glowing outline in a 3D game? It's so, like, I don't get it. Like this glowing outline. It looks 2D. It has a very 2D look to it, but is probably 3D, but I could be wrong. It's so weird. Like, that is something that I just genuinely have no idea about how to do. And in fact, like this too, like this kind of like modeling slash animation, modeling. Like, how do you model a 3D character and also give it a 2D outline? Right? Like, no matter which direction I look, there's always a 2D outline. It's so, like, I don't understand it. No, I guess it's just not happening. I still do have a few primos left. There's still Spiral Abyss, Imaginary Theater. There is Mavuika Story Quest and Exploration. All of which I sort of doubt I'm gonna be able to do in 3 days. Yeah, I don't see myself being able to do all of it. Getting pity on the standard banner is absolute pain. What is there something specific about the standard banner that makes it painful? Yesterday I spent 2 hours grinding for one Acquaint Fate. Spoiler, I get nothing. Why would you grind for Acquaint Fates? Like, are you grinded for Primo Gems and you bought Acquaint, like the blue Fates for it, with it? Didn't buy blue fates. You can get Acquaint Fates from the Fontaine, from the Fountain and Fontaine. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, but like, here's the thing: if you just 100% the map, so there have been. So okay, every map that's come out so far. After the first 2 regions, right, Mondstadt and Liyue, so Inazuma, Sumeru, Fontaine, and Natlan have its own version of some kind of something that you can level up by giving it sigils, right? Like in Inazuma, it's the Sakura tree. In Sumeru, it's the giant onion. In Fontaine, it's the fountain. In Natlan, it's the Tablet of Ona, I think is what it's called. Yeah, something like that. And as long as you spend the time to 100% the map, then you won't have to worry about quote-unquote grinding. Because it'll just happen if you 100% the map. My pity is 5, and that's so far to 50. Saeed, you seem really young. You seem really young. You seem so... I don't know. It just seems like you're in a bad situation, and you can't accept that you're in that bad situation. 45 wishes in the last 15 days. Just from grinding? You haven't? Okay. Well, you'll be okay, Saeed. Because if you don't have Citlali or Zilonen, then Mavuika is not very good. Why are you pulling Mavuika? Or are you gonna run with her? Kachina? Might as well pull for Arlecchino. Building her is easy as long as you have decent glad pieces. That's true. It's true. Arlecchino is about as good as Mavuika, but easier to build. Way easier to build. I pity on the standard banner. Wish me luck for getting another Diluc. I need him. Diluc? Going for Diluc? Might have pulled for Mavuika, but I'm a Diluc main at heart. No. Wait, you don't have any Diluc copies yet? Even C0? I'm at C3. Gonna C6 him next anniversary. Hey, nice. I got my C6 Diluc on my first account in the last anniversary. My third account got Diluc already. I got Diluc C6 already. Just from, like, even before last anniversary. My third account loses 50-50 a lot. I pity you on too. But it's just 5 pity. Haven't Primos again for the pull for Mavuika. Yes, yes, we get it, Saeed. We're all in the same situation. Deals like 120k per plunge, plus 20k from Ganyu and extra damage from Farina. Oh, Diluc can deal way more than that, man. Yeah. Diluc can deal way more than that. Just you wait. Just you wait. Just keep building him. Just keep building him. I think Shibanawa might be the easiest way to get big numbers off of him, but it's just really annoying because it's not easy to get enough energy for him to be able to get to above 15 energy after every rotation, because you're not spamming your skills, right? Like you're just doing plunges, so you have you're either gonna spend more time spamming your E on Diluc, or you're just not gonna get the energy from Diluc because you're just not gonna use his skill. Bennett and Farina should be good for energy. Well, at least, at the very least, like, you don't need full energy. You just need to be above 15. So that's, you know, the very least. But other than that, you can also use Hunter set on him, because you're running Farina anyway. So Hunter set is also good. Plus, it makes it way easier to build because Hunter gives you crit. So that means it's easier to reach your crit ratios. You don't have C6 Bennett. Oh, no. Ooh, that's, yeah, that's kind of painful, man. Like Copium, it's like Copium Plunge Diluc. Because you need to burst every rotation so that you have Pyro Infusion. That's kind of annoying. You can get his burst every rotation with 2 Fav users. Yeah, but it's still really annoying because Diluc's burst animation's long. It's kind of long. It's not short. It's not the longest, but it's also not very short. Hey, what's up, Rayhan? How you doing, man? So having to burst on Diluc every rotation, I think is kind of annoying. But hey, I speak from experience. I've been there myself. Because I didn't see C6 Bennett yet. When I first tried out Diluc Plunge, I didn't want to C6 Bennett yet. So I spent a bit of time trying it out, different rotations, different teams. Without C6 Bennett and like having to burst on every rotation, but it was like so annoying it was so annoying because like I had so many conditional things, so many conditions that I had to fulfill because I was using mailed flower, 4-piece Shimenawa, right? 4-piece Shimenawa, mailed flower, and I had to burst every rotation to get my pyro infusion. And so one thing I found out very quickly was Shimenawa and burst every rotation immediately did not work. So I was screwed already. And at some point, rotation. Oh, I did not use Marina's skill. So very quickly, I also realized that it's very awkward. Rotations get very awkward with mailed flower. Especially because I was using 4 VVs genuine. So I had to find a way to put pyro on the enemies. Wait. Where's my pink resin? Did I not get it yet? Oops. Does he not read chat if I don't need to? I don't want to have to read every message about I want this character, I don't have enough this and that primos, I can't get this character, I know it's impossible, please stop begging in chat. I don't have to read all of that. It's like, is my job to read chat? I don't think so. I mean, this isn't even my job in the first place. I just read what I think will be entertaining, will, turn into an entertaining conversation. I would also not read chats about it. Yeah, but I also the thing is, like, if it's a kid, right? Like, if I can tell that it's a kid, then like, why would I? I don't. What word should I be using? Why would I? Why would I take? Why would I use any of my energy and or time just to educate a kid on reality, right? It's not my kid. It's just a kid on the internet. Just let him be. Just because I see some spoiled brat out on the street doesn't mean I'm gonna take time out of my day to educate that kid. Just leave him be as long as they're not bothering me. And like the thing is, yeah, and like if you like I'm a grown man, right? I'm a grown man. If I stopped to try and educate every spoiled brat I see out in the street, like as I'm like going, I don't know, like I'm out on my day, that would be seen as bullying. You know, that would be seen as bullying. I'll talk to the kid if I need to, but if I don't need to, then I won't. Very immature, and even I can feel shameful about asking for stuff. Yeah, but I'd also don't see myself as like very mature. I also feel ashamed about like, you know, dunking on a kid who's, well, just being a kid. Just because, and I understand. Yeah, you guys are cool. I like you guys, but just because y'all are more mature than someone doesn't mean that you have to dunk on someone who is less mature than you. Maybe if you can see that they should be old enough to know what they're doing, but if they're clearly not, you know, they're clearly not old enough to know what they're doing, then just leave them alone. It's not your problem. It's their parents' problem. It's not society's job to educate kids. It's the parents' job to educate kids. That's all I'll say. Yeah, as long as they don't bother me, as long as they don't do anything to me that I cannot ignore, then, you know, not a problem. Alright, anyway, I'm pretty sure that didn't come off through the microphone because I shut off that alarm really fast. But yeah, I got work in 6 minutes. So that's gonna be it for today. If any of you guys need any help building your characters, accounts, or making a decision on which banners to pull for, feel free to join our Discord server. Links are in the description of all my videos, VODs, and streams, and in the pinned message in the YouTube chat. If you want my personal opinion, you can ping me over there. My name is Eldest Einstein. Of course, you can ask for other people's opinions too. Thank you guys so much for coming by, hanging out, and being awesome people. Have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, and take care, everybody. Bye, guys. I think he would keep saying the same thing if we ignored him. Yeah, he would, but we would still be ignoring him, which, you know, right? It doesn't matter. If you could actually ignore him, then you would still be. Here's the thing, though. When a kid cries, because you didn't give him the candy he wanted, and you get mad at him, he'll keep crying. But if you ignore him and don't give him the candy he wanted, he'll just stop crying because they'll realize that that crying won't get them the candy that they want. It's just simple psychology. It works for adults too. If you can see that what you're doing is not working towards getting what you want, then you're gonna stop doing that. Anyway, yeah, bye everyone. Thanks. Have a good day and take care.